my name is Leanne Schaefer, and this is my Week 8 reflection. When this course first started, I was nervous. Qualitative research, design, and analysis sounded intimidating, and I wasn't sure what to expect. I've always associated research with numbers, such as test scores, percentages, attendance data, but those have never felt like my strength or my passion. I hoped qualitative data might be different, more about stories and meaning, but I didn't really know how to collect or interpret it before this class. Now, halfway through the course, I actually feel excited about the idea of using qualitative research in my dissertation. What I've discovered is that qualitative research is really about people, their thoughts, experiences, and voices. It asks why instead of just how much. That perspective aligns perfectly with the kinds of questions I want to explore. Questions about motivation, belonging, and communication in schools. Quantitative data might show what is happening, but qualitative research helps explain why it's happening, and that fits naturally with my background in education. Early in the course, we learn that validity in qualitative research, what Cho and Trent called trustworthiness, isn't about repeating results. It's about representing people truthfully. We practice strategies to strengthen that trust through member checking, sharing transcripts with participants to make sure their voices are captured accurately, triangulation using multiple sources like interviews, field notes, and documents to confirm these themes, and reflecting, recognizing how our own experiences influence what we notice. These ideas help me understand what it would take to design a trustworthy dissertation study, one that honors participants' realities rather than describing patterns. As someone who works in a school district, I bring my own assumptions to every situation. For example, when I hear teachers talk about student motivation, I immediately think of our attendance data. But qualitative research reminds me to look deeper. Maybe motivation isn't about attendance at all, but how supported students feel or whether the classroom environment fits their needs. In week 2, we discussed how qualitative measures like test scores don't always reflect teachers' or students' lived experiences. Qualitative validity means aligning findings with the participants' perspectives. For example, studying how teachers adapt to online learning. I would then be able to use interviews and classroom observations to capture their voices. Quantitative data might show how teachers struggle, but qualitative data reveals why. Maybe due to lack of support, technology, stress, or feelings of isolation. That difference between counting experiences and understanding them is exactly why I'm drawn to qualitative research. As an educator and administrator, I've also realized that my own position affects the research process. I bring my background, my district role, and my personal beliefs into every interpretation. This course helped me see that acknowledging those factors doesn't weaken research, it actually strengthens it because it makes the work more transparent and honest. My favorite part of the course so far was week 4 when I studied Dr. Pankey's research on AI. She treated AI as both a tool and a topic, using ChatGPT during data collection, analysis, and writing. Her creativity showed me that qualitative research can be rigorous and innovative. The personal exchange, as she wrote me back, reminded me that qualitative data isn't distant, it's relative and reflective. I love to bring that same spirit into my dissertation process. In week 5 and 6, we studied interviewing and observations, and those lessons reshaped how I think about listening. A good interview isn't just a list of questions, it's a conversation that lets people open up and share what matters most to them. This unit helped me understand that my tone, word choice, and even my role influence how honest people feel they can be. That awareness has already changed how I approach my research. Observation 2 is about being present, noticing interactions, emotions, and contexts. Those approaches fit perfectly with the kind of dissertation I imagine, one focused on understanding experiences in depth rather than all numbers. I realize that being transparent about who I am, my background's belief, and professional lens doesn't weaken this research, it makes it more authentic. That self awareness will be essential in my dissertation because my goal is to interpret data honestly, not from a detached perspective, but rather a reflective one. Looking back over these first 7 weeks, my mindset has changed completely. When I began this class, I thought of research as distance and all about statistics. Now I see it as personal, relational, and transformative. Good qualitative research doesn't just collect data, it seeks understanding that data. It tells people's stories truthfully, respectfully, and with empathy. That's the kind of research I want to create in my dissertation. Work that not only informs, but also connects. This course has already changed how I interpret information and make decisions. Even though I started unsure, I'm ending the first half feeling curious, reflective, and much more confident. Qualitative research to me is no longer intimidating. It's a way to honor people's voices and truly learn from them. Thank you.